Now on to the recruiting news of the day. So we said, of course, Jackson Cantwell is a guy who is almost across the board rated the number one player in the country,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of position, out of Missouri. I forget there was a distinction that you brought up concerning that town and its
Nixa, Missouri is
prohibition.
the same place as the fictional Jason Bourne character being from. Uh, yeah, but he's been on campus for the last 4 days on his spring break down with his family and everything on an unofficial visit. So that's his second unofficial visit within like a month, and then has his very first official visit scheduled to Miami in May. So yeah, we're taking every opportunity to make an impression here. This is going to be one of the recruitments of the year in this recruiting class. Um, Jackson Cantwell is the prototype. 6'8", 300 and whatever, 10, 15 pounds. Um, and I mean, he's your prototypical left tackle. Like the tackles in this class are so much better than 2 years ago. Right, like in this class of tackles with like him and a Kenny Pepe from IMG Academy and several other dudes. Like I know Jordan Seaton from Colorado was the 5-star number one tackle in that class. He wouldn't have been in the class with Maui Noah and them. He wouldn't be in this class. Like these guys are a different caliber, and it's led by Jackson Cantwell. Interestingly enough, both of Jackson Cantwell's parents were Olympic throwers, like shot put. And he does that as well on the field part of track and field. And the coach who coached both of his parents in their careers is a coach at the University of Miami on the track and field staff. So there's a connection there. And then also, as I alluded to earlier, just the culture of being offensive line centric as a program, the recruitment, the development, the deployment, growth of them. Jackson Cantwell himself noted that as being like foundational to his interest in Miami. What Mirabal and Cristobal do and how they develop offensive line, that is inextricably linked to his his interest at the University of Miami. So the fact that the coach who coached both of his parents years ago is a benefit, obviously, and we're firmly in the race at this point. So we've gotten 2 unofficial visits paid for by the Cantwell family within a month. Well, maybe a little bit over a month, but within 6 weeks, right? And then you also have the official visit down the line. That's the minimum that you need. And he visited for a game last fall. So now you have 3 unofficial visits within, we'll call it 6 months, and official visit coming up. Those kinds of connections are what you need when you're going after these 5 stars, particularly national 5 stars. Like I'm not even gonna say like, yeah, he's from Missouri, but like it's not even like he's from Columbia or anything, or his parents both went there. But still, you're trying to pull an elite player again away from everybody that Michigan, O State, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, like everybody in the world wants this guy. And you've gotten all of these unofficials, and you're going to get one of his officials as well. You're in the game. Not saying it's going to happen, but this is where, like, I would love to see Mario and family close. You know what I mean? Like, you've already got Ben Congdon, but Jackson Cantwell's a different kind of beast. You know what I mean? But yeah, so you have that. And that's definitely a headliner for what's been going on recently.
This post is courtesy our Instagram account here at the Voice of College Football. So please lock it in there. The 2 guys that we have doing that, Gabe and Patrick, are doing a heck of a job. We'll take you through a little trip through their recent posts because they come up with all sorts of interesting angles. This one is straightforward. The number one wide receiver in the country, Tristan Keys, has committed to LSU. I just checked out the 247 page profile on one Tristan Keys, and the crystal ball is pointing at Tennessee despite this commitment. And with you, Cam, bringing this up prior to us hitting the record button, I'm thinking that you're not sold on this being locked and loaded and a dead issue until December.
Well, I mean, there is that, but I mean, like, you know, he came down for an unofficial visit. Did Tristan Keys, you know, he did an interview with another outlet and everything on campus in the studio, one of the studios there at UM, and everything. Sounds a lot like Anthony Edwards in terms of his bravado, just like, oh, I can do anything and I'm everything and da da da. And you know, then commits to LSU. You know, so this is a guy who did reclassify up into this class from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and you know is elected to go play for one of the worst humans ever to live in Brian Kelly at LSU. But yeah, you know that is that's a choice that he can make. Keys, Bama, and Tennessee were the top two for him according to On3. I mean, yeah, that they were. But you know that intel is not always 100% accurate, as we're seeing. Do I think that Miami could continue to press Tristan Keys? Yeah, I do. Do I think it's a foregone conclusion that Miami flips him? Absolutely not. But you know, if there is, I mean, you don't want to lose talented players to other teams, but if there's one to lose, Tristan Keys would be it. There's still a lot of guys on the board, especially at receiver. And, you know, this is in my head, right? This is my head canon. So do not take this as like it is actually going to happen. But in my brain, if I have to lose a Tristan Keys to have a realistic shot at Jackson Cantwell, I do that every week, every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I don't even think twice about it. Again, that's me conflating some things, right? Does that bear itself to be true? We'll see, you know, but I'm not, this one doesn't hit the same as Jeremiah Smith, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Calvin, you know, whatever, you know, the Grandpa Ridley, anything like that. Dudes from like the shadow of my apartment who go somewhere else. It's not great. Right, I would prefer if Tristan Keys was like, I saw LSU, I saw, hey, nah, whatever, I'm picking the U. I would prefer that. I'm also just not going to get twisted about it, and also I've been following this for my entire life, you know, so like I'm not going to get that kind of connected to it. But I mean, it is movement on the trail for a guy that you know we did bring in and still believe that. I don't know. Well, first of all, Juan Manuel in the chat says the commit is not binding. We all know that all the commitments are non-binding. You know, we'll see if he takes his official visit still down to Miami later this spring. I know that he said he did want to be committed and more or less shut down his recruitment by before August when his senior season starts and everything. But, you know, we'll see. But, you know, it is, you know, that is a move that was made. You know, we'll see where we go. I know in the chat they're talking about Calvin Russell from Miami Northwestern. Yeah, I mean, I definitely need that, and I know that we're battling Syracuse at the moment, and they've done a very good job getting in his brain and whatnot. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a noteworthy thing. He's a 5-star who everybody's been talking about, and everybody is talking about with Tristan Keys, and he is at this moment elected to go elsewhere. So we'll see where we go.